Hello, welcome to Math with Mr. Dobrescu, to the rescue. Today we are going to learn to find the measure of interior angles of polygons. Take a look at this sign. This is the stop sign. Many of you driving your cars, if you see this sign, you have to stop. You have to stop your car for a few seconds, look to the right and to the left, make sure nobody's crossing the road, and then you continue going. This is the stop sign. But how many sides does this stop sign have? Okay, let's calculate. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. Okay, so now, in order for us to find the measure of all the angles, interior angles of this polygon, of this stop sign, we have to use this formula. Remember, we learned today, S equals n minus 2 times 180 degrees. We proved that. Remember, we started with a triangle. Remember, a triangle has 180 degrees. And if we have, for example, another polygon of 4 sides, right? We can divide this polygon into 2 triangles, right? And each triangle has a 180 degrees. We proved it earlier this year. And then the other triangle has also 180 degrees. And if we add 180 plus 180, we get 360 degrees, right? So take a look at this, okay? 3 sides, 1 side, 2 sides, 3 sides, right? So n would be the 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 is 1, and 1 minus 180 is 180, right there, the triangle. If we add another side, right, 4 sides, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, will be 4 minus 2, which is 2. 2 times 180 is 360. And every time we have to add a 180 degrees. That's why we come up with this formula. S, the sum of all the interior angles of all the polygons, equals n minus 2 times 180. Because of that reason, right? Each time we add 180 degrees. Okay, let's erase this and let's find out all the sums of this angle in this polygon, right? Let's continue with our problem. Okay, so now we are going to substitute n with 8 because this polygon had 8 sides. So we have 8 instead of n because there were 8 sides minus 2 times 180 degrees. Okay? And then let's find the final answer. Remember, parentheses go first. So let's subtract 8 minus 2 becomes 6. And then we have to multiply 6 times 180 degrees. Okay, let's see. 180 times 6. Let's see what we get. 6 times 0, 0. 6 times 8, 48. 8 carry the 4. 6 times 1, 6 plus 4, 10. So we get S equals 1080. Okay? So the sum of all these angles in this polygon is actually 1080. Okay? Let's continue with another problem. And in this case here we have a 4-side polygon, okay, the same thing, but in this case we need to find the value of x. So in order for us to find the value of x, here we have 2-step problems, right? So the first step, step number 1. So step number 1 would be to do what? Step 1 would be for us to find the measure of all the angles in this polygon. To do that, again, we are going to use our formula. S equals n minus 2, don't forget that, times 180 degrees. And now let's see how many sides does this polygon have. Okay, so this polygon has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. So now we are going to substitute n with 4 because this polygon had 4 sides. So we have S equals, instead of n, we are going to put 4 minus 2 in a parenthesis times 180 degrees. 4 minus 2, again we do the parentheses first, is 2 times 180, and that of course is 360 degrees. 360 degrees. So the answer of all the angles in this polygon equals 360 degrees. But we are not done yet, because now we are going to use this information, knowing that all the angles in this polygon is 360 degrees, and we are going to create an equation adding this angle plus this angle plus this angle plus this angle equals 360 degrees. So we have, let's use another color here. Let's use blue. So we have x plus 137 plus 25 plus 135 equals 360 degrees. So now we can find the value of x, okay? Knowing that information. Let's combine the like terms here. So we need to add 137 plus 25, 137 plus 25 plus 135. Let's see what we get. 5 plus 5, 10, plus 7, 17. 7 carry the 1. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 2, 6. 6 plus 3, 9. And 2 plus 1 is 2. 297. So we have x plus 297 degrees equals 360 degrees. And now finally we have one set equation, and we need to subtract 297 on both sides in order for us to find the x. Let's subtract minus 297 minus 297. Okay, these will cancel, right? So we have x equals, let's subtract, we need to make 6 a 5, make 0 a 10, and then borrow from these 3, make these 3 a 2, and make the 5 a 15. So now we have 10 minus 7 becomes 3, and 15 minus 9 becomes 6. Okay, because 9 plus 6 becomes 15, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So the final answer is 63 degrees. So x is 63 degrees. This angle is 63 degrees. And if we add all these angles, 63 plus 137 plus 25 and plus 135, of course, we are going to get 360 degrees. Remember, this problem had 2 steps. Step number 1, and here's step number 2. Step number 2, where we had to create an equation and solve for x. Let's continue with our last problem. And in this case, we have a polygon, and here we have a couple of x's. This angle is x, this is also x, and so forth. And here we have 90 degrees. Remember, a square means 90 degrees. 90 degrees, and again, we need to find the value of x. To do that, again, we have 2 steps. Step number 1 would be for us to use the formula and find the answer, find the angles of all the angles, find the sum of all the angles in this polygon, okay? By using this formula, S equals n minus 2 times 180 degrees. Please remember this formula, because you'll be using this formula again in Math 1, Math 2, Math 3, and in high school, okay? You got to remember that formula, okay? So S equals, instead of n, we are going to count all these sides. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So again, we have here 6 minus 2 times 180 degrees. 6 minus 2, of course, is 4. So let's multiply 4 times 180 degrees. So we have 180 times 4. Let's see what we get. 4 times 0, 0. Okay. 4 times 8, 32. 2, carry the 3. 4 times 1, 4 plus 3 is 7. 720 degrees, right? So S equals 720 degrees. But we are not done, because now we know the value of all the angles in this polygon. So step number two would be for us to create an equation, add all these angles, those individual angles, and equal 720 degrees, and solve for x. Let's start with this one here. So we have x degrees plus another x degrees plus 90 degrees plus another 90 degrees plus another x degrees plus another x degrees, right? Equals 720. Let's do a little line here. Okay? So now let's combine all those like terms, right? So let's combine the x's first. So we have 1x, 2, 3, 4. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So x plus x plus x plus x becomes 4x's. 4x's, right? So we have 4x. And let's add 90 plus 90, right? 90 plus 90 becomes, right, what? Look at this. 90 plus 90, right? 0 plus 0 is 0. 9 plus 9 is 18, right? 180, right? Plus 180 degrees equals 720 degrees. Now we have a multi-step equation. So now we have to subtract 180 first on both sides. Minus 180 minus 180. Let's see what we get. This cancels, right? So we have 4x equals, right? Let's subtract. 0 minus 0 is 0. Borrow from the 7. Make 7 a 6. Make 2 a 12. 12 minus 8 becomes 4. And 6 minus 1 becomes 5. 540. 4x equals 540. And of course, in order for us to find the x, we have to divide both sides by 4. Let's divide this side by 4, this side by 4. This simplifies to a 1x. So we get x equals, let's divide 540 divided by 4. Let's use green. 540 divided by 4. 4 goes into 5 one time. 1 times 4, 4. Subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down the 4. 4 goes into 14. 3 times 4, 12. 4 times 4, 16. 3 times 4 is 12. Let's subtract. 14 minus 12 becomes 2. Don't forget to bring down the 0. And finally, 4 into 20, 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. And we got the answer, 135 degrees. So x equals 135 degrees. That's it. X equals, each of these x is 135 degrees. All of them, 135, 135, 135. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope now, after practicing how to find the measure of all the angles in any polygon and then find the individual angle, you'll be able to be proficient and knowing how to do this with confidence. Thank you so much for watching, and please stay tuned for our next video. All the best to you.